Part 155. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1541. Chapter 1541. It's totally inconsistent with her style. If her schedule is really full every day, Yessie probably won't let her stay in the entertainment industry anymore. Xiao Mian felt that the bonus given to her by Shueishia was like a sum of money dropped from the sky, as if it was picked up for free. It was a special surprise for her. Although the money is not particularly large, it is also an affirmation for her. She immediately sent a WeChat message to Zhang Luli happily, "Luo, I got my first advertising endorsement fee in my life. People thought that the products I endorsed sold well, and they gave me a bonus. Woolen cloth. Wait until I get back to treat you to dinner." Zhang Luli quickly replied to her, "Is there any bonus left to get?" "A lot of money." "Xiao Mian, it's not a lot of money, but it's absolutely fine to treat you to a big dinner. When the time comes, you can take your family member with you." "Zhang Luli, he has been very busy recently. I haven't seen him for several days. I'll talk to him next time we meet." "Xiao Mian, by the way, has MRSMO looked for you again in recent times?" "Zhang Luli, no." "Xiao Mian, did she take any other actions?" "Zhang Luli, it doesn't seem like there is." Xiao Mian looked at this reply and fell into deep thought. It shouldn't be. MRSMO strongly opposed Zhang Luli and Mo Shixiu being together. She tried to get money from Zhang Luli but failed. Is she willing to let it go? Xiao Mian felt that MRSMO was not someone who would give up easily. Doing nothing is completely inconsistent with her style. Asterisk. The other side. Just as Zhang Luli finished replying to Xiao Mian's WeChat message, someone called him. She saw the caller ID and her face changed slightly. After a few seconds, she picked up the call. A crying voice immediately sounded on the phone. The speaker said excitedly, "Ali, something happened to your brother. You must save him." Asterisk. Zhang Luli took the fastest flight back to his hometown. Today is Friday. According to her usual habit, she went to stay with Mo Shixiu on the weekends. Before she got on the plane, she sent Sister Lin a WeChat message so that Sister Lin would not have to prepare her dinner that night. She also told Sister Lin that she had returned to her hometown and would not be there for 2 days on the weekend. Just right. She had just boarded the plane. After turning off her mobile phone, Mo Shixiu's special Rolls-Royce slowly drove into the mansion. After getting off the car, Sister Lin was waiting outside the building as usual. Mo Shixiu handed the computer in his hand to Assistant Su. He saw Sister Lin standing outside alone, raised his wrist to check the time, and asked doubtfully, "Sister Lin, Luo Li didn't come here today?" Sister Lin sighed, feeling it was a pity. Mr. Mr. has been very busy recently and has not been back for a long time. I finally came back today, but Miss Zhang is not here again. The two of them just missed it? I don't know when the husband will come back next time. I have to get busy, and I won't be able to see each other for 10 days and a half. Ms. Zhang said she has something to go back to her hometown and won't come here this weekend. Go back to your hometown. Mo Shixiu took out his mobile phone and dialed Zhang Luli's number. A mechanical female voice came from the mobile phone, reminding Zhang Luli to turn off his phone. Mo Shixiu frowned and hung up the phone. Did she say what happened? Sister Lin shook her head, I didn't say that. Mo Shixiu pursed his lips and was silent for a while, then turned and asked Assistant Su, you have checked her information before, do you still remember where her hometown is? Assistant Su thought about it for a moment, nodded and said, I remember. Miss Jiang's hometown is in a small county, called Huining. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1542. Chapter 1542. It's different now, I have you. Huaning, is it far from here? Assistant Su was startled and said in surprise, Minister, you don't want to go to Miss Zhang, do you? That's not true. Mo Shixia shook his head. He was just a little worried about Zhang Luli going back alone. Moreover, she must have encountered something urgent when she suddenly returned to her hometown. But he couldn't contact her now. Even if he was worried, he could only wait until she got off the plane and then call her to ask her questions. Asterisk. More than 2 hours later, Zhang Luli got off the plane. As soon as she turned on the phone, she saw the startup reminder message showing that Mo Shixia had called her. She called him. Soon, Mo Shixia picked up the call. Loli, the man's gentle voice came from the mobile phone. I saw you called me. Is there something wrong? Zhang Luli said while waving his hand to hail a taxi. Her hometown is in a small county town, and she has to go to the bus station and take a bus for more than an hour to get there. Well, I went home and didn't see you. I heard from Sister Lin that you had something to go back to your hometown. Are you back home? Zhang Luli was startled. Without you here, the house feels a little deserted. The man said something casually, but Zhang Luli's heartbeat couldn't help but speed up. This man Mo Shixia is really. Because of his words, Zhang Luli felt a lot better. She listened to the warm voice coming from the phone, pursed her lips, and raised a small arc at the corner of her mouth. Mo Shixia, I found out why are you so good at talking sweet words now? Has anyone taught you? Mo Shixia seemed to be laughing too, and his low laughter reached Xiao Mianmian's ears, bringing with it a hint of pampering and tenderness. Are you becoming more and more good at saying nice things to coax people? Why did I just coax you? Didn't you just? Zhang Luli thought that Mo Shixia didn't even know what flirting meant, and felt that she might be overthinking it. Mo Shixia was not coaxing her. He said that because he really felt that his home was deserted. However, Zhang Luli still feels very relieved. Just because Mo Shixia can't say sweet words, nothing he says is just to coax people. The corners of her lips raised again. Mo Shixia, it seems that I am very important in your heart. When I am not here, you feel that the house is deserted. When I was not with you before, weren't you also alone? Besides, there are still Sister Lin and others at home, so why are they so deserted? Well, it is very important. Mo Shixia's voice was still warm and moist. Sister Lin and the others are different from you. They were always alone before, but now they are different, and they have you. Zhang Luli. Could he not say these words to her in such a serious tone? Her heartbeat began to accelerate uncontrollably again. Loli, what are you going home for? Is there something urgent at home? Do you need my help? Mo Shixia paused and then said, if you need help, I can arrange for someone to come there. Zhang Luli thought about what Jiang's mother said on the phone, and frowned, and his mood inevitably became bad again. But she didn't want Mo Shixia to worry. She took a deep breath and calmed down and said, I can solve some messy things at home by myself. If I can't solve it, I will tell you. Well, that's good Loli, we are a couple now. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1543. Chapter 1543. Why do I still feel sad? If you have something that cannot be solved, be sure to tell me and I will help you solve it. After a while, Zhang Luli hung up the phone. She turned her head and looked out the car window, with annoyance on her face. The phone suddenly rang again. When she lowered her head and saw that it was Jiang's mother calling, she waited for a while before answering the call. Ali, are you home yet? Mother Zhang said anxiously. Your father and I have been waiting for you. Where are you now? When will you arrive so that we can pick you up? Zhang Luli lowered his eyes. I just got off the plane for a while. Just got off the plane. Jiang's mother sounded dissatisfied. Why are you so slow? Zhang Luli tightened his fingers and endured his temper. I rushed to the airport after answering your call. How fast can it be? I don't have wings on my body, so I can't fly back. You kid, aren't I in a hurry? Jiang's mother's tone became even more dissatisfied and she accused, what kind of tone do you have with me? After studying outside for a few years, you have become more and more capable, right? Don't forget, no matter how capable you are, I am still your mother. You are the flesh that fell from my body without me giving birth to you in 10 months of pregnancy. How could you be here today? You even got angry with me. Zhang Luli bit her lip. She looked expressionlessly at the passing buildings outside the car window, and the corners of her mouth curled up mockingly. Mother Zhang complained for a while, and then said angrily, as soon as you get off the plane, you can take a taxi home directly. Don't take another bus. Your brother's affairs are urgent and we can't wait. Come back quickly, you know. After Mother Zhang finished speaking, she hung up the phone. Zhang Luli kept answering the phone. She stared out the car window for a while and twitched the corners of her mouth. It has always been like this. Anything that happens when you encounter Zhang Hai is a matter of urgency. But if something happens to her, she is told that she is not young anymore and has learned to solve many things by herself. She should not just ask her parents for help if something goes wrong. Sometimes, she wonders whether she is a biological member of the Zhang family. Her surname is Zhang, but in the eyes of Jiang's father and Jiang's mother, sooner or later her daughter will be thrown out and an outsider. Only Zhang Hai is the treasure they hold dear. But, it has been like this since she was a child, so she should be used to it. Why, I still feel sad. Asterisk. After Zhang Luli got home, as soon as she got out of the car, Jiang's mother rushed over, grabbed her wrist and started crying, Ali, you are finally back. You must save your brother. Only you can save him now. Father Zhang also stood aside and wiped his tears. Yes, Ali, only you can save your brother now. Jiang's mother grabbed her with great strength, and Zhang Luli's wrists immediately turned red. Mom, let me go first. Zhang Luli endured the pain and pulled Zhang Mu's hand away. She looked at Father Zhang and Mother Zhang in front of her, who were crying until their eyes were red and swollen. She pursed her lips and said in an indifferent voice. What happened to Xiaohe? Jiang's mother cried, your brother was arrested and taken to the police station. He has been there for 2 days. How can people live in that kind of place? Your brother has never suffered much since he was a child. It's really painful inside. Zhang Luli frowned. Why was he caught and taken to the police station? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1544. Chapter 1544. He was harmed. Mother Zhang, who had been crying non-stop just now, suddenly stopped crying. When she looked at Zhang Luli, her eyes flickered, and her eyes were a little wandering. This. Zhang Luli took a deep breath, held back his anger and said, he went gambling again? Didn't you stop him? Xiaohe is innocent too. He was harmed by someone. Jiang's mother started crying again. They deliberately wanted to defraud him of his money. He was young and didn't understand that, so he was fooled. So, why did he go into the police station? Zhang Luli looked at Jiang's father and Jiang's mother crying and was immediately upset. She held back her anger and said, crying can't solve the problem. You have to tell me, who is Xiaohe? Why did you go to the police station? If you want to solve the problem, you have to tell me everything. No matter how disheartened Zhang Luli was at the different treatment of Jiang's mother and Jiang's father, these were also her biological parents. Zhang Hai is also her biological brother. When they were young, the relationship between the siblings was very good, and Zhang Hai was also a very lovable younger brother. But later, Zhang Hai met a group of bad friends and got into all kinds of bad habits. The once good brother went further and further on the road of depravity. The relationship between the siblings has become increasingly estranged as a result. This. Mother Zhang and Father Zhang looked at each other, and after a while, they stammered, "Xiao Hai, he went to play cards and met a casino agent." What did the man say when he first saw him? He felt that he was very close to him, and he said that Xiao Hai was like his biological brother. After knowing that Xiao Hai didn't have much money, he lent Xiao Hai a sum of money to gamble. Xiao Hai took the money he borrowed and followed him to a place called a gambling city. Over there, Xiao Hai lost all the money. The man asked Xiao Hai to pay back the money. Xiao Hai couldn't repay the money, so he ran home secretly. As a result, the man chased him with a group of people. He took the IOU and told Xiao Hai that he would not repay the debt, and asked the police to chase Xiao Hai away. At this point, Mother Zhang gritted her teeth and said, "That man is simply a beast, with a bad mind. If he hadn't lent money to Xiao Hai, how could Xiao Hai have owed a huge debt and been taken away by the police?" Hearing the word huge debt, Zhang Luli's heart thumped and he had a bad premonition. She looked at Mother Zhang. "How much money does Xiao Hai owe?" This is not the first time Zhang Hai owes money due to gambling. In the past, Jiang's father and Jiang's mother could help him pay it back. This. Mother Jiang's eyes began to wander again, her eyes flickered, and she stammered, probably around 10 million. "What, 10 million? Zhang Luli opened his eyes wide and said in disbelief, "He owes me 10 million. Zhang Luli was mentally prepared, but the number Jiang's mother said still shocked her. 10 million, for the Zhang family, this is money that the Zhang family will never earn in their lifetime. In the past, Zhang Hai also owed money, up to tens of thousands. Zhang Luli felt that he had heard wrongly. Yes, Jiang's mother probably thought this number was too scary, and she became even more unconfident when speaking, so I said that person was a liar. When he met Xiao Hai for the first time, he lent Xiao Hai 10 million. Didn't he ask about the situation in our family and know that Xiao Hai can't afford to pay him back? You mean he lent Xiao Hai 10 million when he met Xiao Hai for the first time? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1545. Chapter 1545. Zhang Luli, what do you mean? Isn't that the case? Do you think this person is normal? Xiao Hai is young and cannot withstand the temptation. Anyway, Xiao Hai was harmed by that person. Now Xiao Hai has been detained in the police station and they won't let him go until he pays back the money. Come out. But, 10 million, how do you think we can pay it back? Even if we pay for my life and your father's life, we still can't pay back the 10 million. So Ali, now you are the only one in our family who can hope to help your brother repay this money. After listening to Zhang Mu's words, Zhang Luli also felt that something was wrong with this matter. But she laughed angrily at Mother Jiang's words the next second. Mom, you said 10 million, not 12,000. You don't think you can afford it, so why do you think I can pay it back? Zhang Luli has 10 million. She still has the 50 million that Mo Shixia gave her before on her card. But this does not mean that she is willing to help Zhang Hai pay back the 10 million. Even if Zhang Hai was deceived, he was deceived because he couldn't resist the temptation and had to gamble. There is a first time for such a thing, and there will be a second and third time. Jiang's mother's face suddenly changed when she heard what she said. Zhang Luli, what do you mean? Are you just watching your brother being locked up in the police station and not trying to save him? That's your biological brother. Do you still want to see him die? Help. Zhang Luli's eyes were calm. Mom, you also know that it is 10 million. Where do you think I can find 10 million to repay this money? Why can't you find it? Mother Zhang became anxious all of a sudden. Other stars earn tens of millions to film a movie. Even if you don't have that much, you can't be much different. You are actors. The fastest way to make money. Jiang's father was also a little anxious. Ali, you can't ignore your brother. You also know that your mother and I get a fixed salary. We only have so little money all year round. We will never earn 10 million in our lifetime. If you don't want to help, what will your brother do? You two siblings had the best relationship before. Can you bear to see him locked up all the time? Zhang Luli found it funny. Dad, Mom, there is a lot of money to be made in the acting profession. It is true that it is easier to make money as an actor than ordinary people. However, I am just a student now. Do you think I am not famous at all? How much money can I make? Don't say it's 10 million. If you ask me to come up with 1 million, I can't come up with it. After Zhang Luli finished speaking, he saw the expressions of Jiang's father and Jiang's mother change. Jiang's mother's face instantly darkened. Zhang Luli, don't think that I don't know that you have made a lot of money over the years. Even if it is not 10 million, there must be several million. Something happened to your brother now. You are as a member of the Zhang family, you have an obligation to help him. Even if you can't come up with 10 million, at least you have to help him pay back some money first so that he can get out of the situation first. Mom, I told you, I don't have this much money. Zhang Luli looked at Zhang Mu with calm eyes and said, before Xiaohe accepted the 10 million, he should have thought that he had no ability to repay. But he still took it money. Whether someone else framed him or not, he is not innocent. This is not the first time that Xiaohe's gambling happened. If you hadn't been pampering him, would he have become like this? Because of your indulgence, something like this happened now. You can't do anything, and I can't do anything either. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1546. Chapter 1546, Did she come back for abuse? Ali, how could you do this? Our family can only count on you now. If you don't care, what will happen to Xiao Hai? Jiang's father's face didn't look good, and he said solemnly, Xiao Hai is your biological brother, can you bear to see him suffer all the time? Zhang Luli clenched her fists. She looked at the man and woman in front of her, who were nominally her parents. Apart from being strangers, they were still strangers. These are her biological parents. She pursed her lips and was silent for a while, then curled her lips and said sarcastically, Xiaohe is my biological brother, so I have to help. Even if he owes others 10 million, I have to find a way to help him pay it back. He is your precious son, so you are reluctant to let him suffer any pain. But what about me? Zhang Luli felt chilled. You don't even think about where I will find these 10 million. You ask me what Xiaohe should do, but have you ever thought about what I should do? Don't say that I don't have this 10 million. Even if I had it, I wouldn't be able to use it to pay off his debt. He will bear the consequences of anything he himself has caused. You. Mother Zhang turned blue with anger, pointed at her nose and cursed, Zhang Luli, are you still a human being? You are so cruel to your own brother. Do you think you can just say you don't care? Do you really care? You are the meat that fell from my body and grew up eating the food of the Zhang family. You can't be the boss. If you don't help get your brother out, I will go to your school to make trouble. At that time, let everyone in the school know what kind of person you are. Father Jiang saw Zhang Luli's expression change and stretched out his hand to give Jiang's mother a tug. Now the Jiang family can only count on this daughter. Although Jiang's father was also dissatisfied with Zhang Luli's behavior, he still held back for the sake of his son. Jiang's mother was so angry that she turned around and glared at Jiang's father angrily, and continued to curse, "Am I wrong? She is a black-hearted person. Xiaohei is the incense of our Jiang family. If Xiaohei is really, if something happens, I will never be able to get around her." Zhang Luli thought he could deal with all this calmly. Since childhood, she has also been used to being treated differently. But at this moment, she still felt cold. My whole heart felt cold from the inside to the outside. Sure enough, for her parents, Zhang Hai was the only child in the Zhang family. As a daughter, she is probably worse than an outsider. After all, her parents are considered good people by outsiders, and the neighbors think highly of them. Zhang Luli felt quite sad. She didn't even know why she was rushing back. Did she come back to find abuse? Ali, what your mother said was also angry. She was just worried about Xiao Hai. Jiang's father was afraid that Zhang Luli would really feel chilled. He walked away after a while and immediately stepped forward to hold Zhang Luli's hand and slow down his voice. Said, "You have just come back, so you must be hungry. Come in quickly and I will cook you a bowl of noodles. We will talk about Xiaohei later." Mother Zhang still looked dissatisfied and wanted to scold her again. Jiang's father glared at her coldly, "You have to make Ali angry before you are willing to give in? No matter what, Xiao Hai can't be released immediately now. If Ali didn't care about Xiao Hai, he wouldn't come back this time." Trip. Jiang's mother was stunned for a moment, and then thought that if Zhang Luli was angry and left, no one would really care about Zhang Hai. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1547. Chapter 1547. There is no place for Maine in that family anymore. She turned her head, glanced at Zhang Luli with a cold face, turned around and walked towards the house. Zhang Luli stood where he was and didn't move. Jiang's father advised again, "You know your mother's temperament. Your brother has been locked up in the police station for several days, and we can't get him out. Your mother feels sorry for your brother, so she speaks unscrupulously. But she didn't really think so in her heart. How could Zhang Luli not know what kind of people his parents were? It is precisely because she knows it in her heart that she feels even more sad. Because she knew very well that even the little warmth she had at this time was all because of Zhang Hai. Asterisk. The other side. MRSMO sat in the hotel cafe and answered the phone. A young man's voice came from the mobile phone, "Madam, Zhang Luli has been called back to her hometown by the Zhang family. Our plan is going well. She will definitely not be able to use the money to help her brother pay off the debt. By then Zhang Luli will the family is desperate and will definitely agree to our offer. Besides, Zhang Luli's parents don't care much about her daughter. I can guarantee that they will agree to anything as long as their son can be released from the police station." "That's good." MRSMO held a cup of coffee in her hand, leaned her back lightly on the sofa cushions behind her, pursed her lips and said, "Everything will go according to the original plan. However, I am afraid that she will speak to Shisiu. Shisiu is fascinated by her now. What if he helps her pay back the money?" "Madam, please rest assured. The relationship between Zhang Luli and her parents is not very good. Because her parents have always valued sons over daughters since she was a child, she must be dissatisfied with her parents. In addition, our investigation found that she is a very strong woman. My child, she will definitely not talk to the eldest young master." MRSMO raised the corners of her lips slightly, and her eyes were cold. "It's best like this. These shameless little vixens come to seduce my son one after another. I can't let this girl named Zhang succeed again. This time, you must do it well. Madam, Please rest assured that we will live up to your trust. Just as MRSMO hung up the phone rang again. She saw that the call was from her husband Mo Yunchin, hesitated for a moment, and picked up the call. Wenpei, where are you now? I heard from my mother that you had a conflict with her and ran away from home. Is this true? MRSMO's face suddenly turned dark. Did mom complain to you? Are you calling me to help mom teach me a lesson? Wenpei, don't be so unreasonable. Mom is getting older. Wouldn't it be better for you to be more tolerant? Why are you arguing with her? Also, how old are you? Why do you still run away from home so easily? You go back now, apologize to mom, and stop being willful. MRSMO originally felt that she had been wronged in this matter. Her husband, who had always loved her, not only did not comfort her, but now even accused her. She felt even more wronged. He also became more and more angry. She growled, Mo Yunchin, I will not go back. There is no place for me in that family anymore, so why should I go back? What does it mean to be willful? Do you know how much grievance I have suffered? Over the years, I have treated mom as tolerant enough. But she would rather favor a few outsiders than take me as her daughter-in-law seriously. I won't go back, and I won't apologize to her. I didn't do anything wrong, so why should I apologize? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1548. Chapter 1548. I wonder what this lady's last name is. I think the outside world is pretty good. I can do whatever I want. I don't have to look at other people's faces or be wronged. Wenpei, you are not a child anymore, please don't. That's enough, Mo Yunchin, I don't want to hear what you said. MRSMO was so angry that she hung up the phone. Seeing that Mo Yunchin called again soon, she directly pressed the off button. She was getting angry when a gentle and polite voice suddenly sounded beside her. Madam, can I sit here with you? MRSMO raised her head and saw an elegantly dressed young girl with excellent temperament standing in front of her. The girl looks about 24 or 5 years old. Her appearance, like her dress, gives people a very elegant and temperamental feeling. She is not a beauty in the traditional sense, but she makes people feel comfortable looking at her. MRSMO looked at the seats around her and found that there were other seats available. She was about to ask the girl why she didn't sit in other empty seats when she heard the girl say warmly, Madam, can't you? I prefer it. This is the location. If Madam thinks I will disturb you, then I apologize. MRSMO looked at the girl, was silent for a while, and said with a smile on her face, there is nothing that can't be disturbed. Since you like it here, then sit here. I feel bored by myself, but it will be more lively if there are many people together. Then thank you, madam. The young girl thanked her and sat down next to MRSMO. She called the waiter and ordered a cup of coffee and some desserts. After the waiter left, MRSMO carefully looked at the young girl next to her. MRSMO has lived in a wealthy family since she was a child, surrounded by various dignitaries. She has seen a lot, and she can tell at a glance that the girl's identity is unusual. She looked at her for a while and said calmly, I wonder what this lady's last name is. The girl looked strange. Judging from her dress, she doesn't look like she's from Yunchinj. The young girl raised her head, smiled elegantly and said, my surname is Tang. I wonder what your surname is. It turns out to be Miss Tang. My surname is Mo. MRSMO quickly searched the powerful and aristocratic families in Yunchinj in her mind, but did not find any family named Tang among these powerful and aristocratic families. She was even more certain that the girl in front of her was definitely not from Yunchinj. MRSMO, the young girl said with a smile, I just came to Yunchinj. I came here to travel, and I don't know what places in Yunchinj are worth visiting. MRSMO is a local and can recommend a few for me. Place. Sure. MRSMO had a good impression of the girl and her attitude was particularly good. She enthusiastically introduced the girl. During the introduction, she also asked about some other things related to the girl. While inquiring, I gradually learned that the girl's background was very good, and that when she was still single, my attitude toward the girl became even more enthusiastic. MRSMO was originally very satisfied with Chiao Mianmian's current status. She also thought about repairing the relationship between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. But Chiao Mianmian obviously had no plans in this regard. Coupled with the fact that the old lady reprimanded her for Chiao Mianmian again and again, causing her to lose face, MRSMO now hated Chiao Mianmian deeply. Even though Chiao Mianmian already has an identity that matches the Mo family's family background, MRSMO is still very dissatisfied with her now. She believed that the reason why she and her son were in such a quarrel was because Chiao Mianmian had instigated a rift in their mother-son relationship. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1549. Chapter 1549. As for the ending, it is not something she can control. That girl named John was definitely introduced to Mo Shixia by Chiao Mianmian. Thinking of this matter, MRSMO became very angry. Chiao Mianmian, that little vixen, not only harmed her son, but also let her best friend harm her eldest son. So what if this kind of woman with bad intentions is really the daughter of the Bai family who has been living abroad? This kind of woman has always stayed with her son, and there is no telling what she will do in the future. She cannot let her son be harmed by such a woman. Whether it is Chiao Mianmian or Zhongluli, these scheming women cannot stay with her two sons. Asterisk. F City. After filming a scene, Chiao Mianmian was about to return to the nanny's car to rest when Chin Han called her. Mianmian, please wait a moment. Chiao Mianmian stopped and turned to look at him. She took a piece of paper from Nana's hand and wiped the sweat on her forehead. Brother Han, what's the matter? Well, Chin Han nodded, walked to her and said, do you still remember the movie audition I mentioned to you last time? The official casting starts tomorrow. I just asked director Bai that there will be no scenes for us tomorrow. I can take you over for an audition. Chiao Mianmian thought for a while and then remembered. Chin Han had told her about a movie audition before, and it was a big budget movie. Okay, thank you, Brother Han. Chin Han not only helped her win a school role for the audition, but also took her to the audition himself. Chiao Mianmian was very grateful. She feels that Chin Han is really a very good senior. When she was on the set, she would also be taught a lot of acting skills. Chiao Mianmian can play well, and Chin Han's contribution is indispensable. For her, Chin Han is a very good senior and mentor who is willing to support and guide new people. Chiao Mianmian didn't know that Chin Han was not actually the warm-hearted person she thought. The reason why Chin Han is willing to help her and support her is because he appreciates her as a junior. As for the younger generation that Chin Han can appreciate, she is currently the only one. Brother Han, do I need to make any preparations in advance? Chiao Mianmian knew that the movie Chin Han introduced to her was an excellent resource, so she attached great importance to tomorrow's interview. Although she felt that it was extremely unlikely that she would be able to pass the audition. However, no matter how slim the possibility was, she still had a glimmer of hope in her heart. No matter what, she will try her best. As for the outcome, it is not something she can control. Chin Han smiled, there is no need for any special preparation, just stay in your current state. Just go back and have a good sleep at night, and go to the audition with the best spirit. Chiao Mianmian nodded, Okay. Chin Han added, there are many first and second tier actors going to the audition this time. Don't feel timid when the time comes. You may not be as famous as them, but when directors and producers choose roles, they should still focus on acting. As long as you can outperform them in acting, you will hopefully be selected. I know, Brother Han, I will try my best. Well, don't put too much pressure on me if you can be selected. It's naturally the best if you can't be selected, it's just a matter of experience. You are still young and there will be many opportunities in the future. Chin Han said a few more words and then left. Here it comes again. The crew's logistics came over on time, dragging several boxes of afternoon tea. Everyone walked over as a habit and took their share of afternoon tea from the logistics. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1550. Chapter 1550. What if someone falls in love with Xiao Mian Mian? Nana went to help Xiao Mian Mian get her favorite strawberry flavor. Mian Mian, who do you think that secret admirer is? Nana sucked a cup of pearl milk tea and couldn't help but sigh again. It's been almost a month, and so many afternoon teas are delivered in obscurity every day. What are you going to do? Are you trying to bribe our entire crew in this way, and wait until the time comes to understand? By then, those of us who have enjoyed many of his benefits will speak for him, and the success rate of his confession of love will be high. I think that's definitely the case. Mian Mian, what do you think? Xiao Mian Mian bit into a piece of minced strawberry meat in her mouth and couldn't deny it. She was also very curious about the mysterious person who invited the entire crew to afternoon tea for more than a month. In fact, it's not just her who is curious, the entire crew is curious now. Everyone is guessing who that person is. Is he really the secret suitor of someone in the crew? But this man has been like this and refused to show his face. The hotel where the afternoon tea was served was also tight-lipped about his identity. I really can't guess who he is. Who cares who he is? Xiao Mian Mian gently shook the strawberry milkshake in her hand and bit the pipe. I hope he can confess his love later. In this case, we can continue to enjoy afternoon tea for a while. The strawberry milkshake in this store is really delicious. Asterisk. The next day. Knowing that Xiao Mian Mian was going to audition for a movie role, Linda rushed over from Yunchinj to accompany her in person. In the car. After Linda knew that this movie audition opportunity was obtained by Chin Han for Xiao Mian Mian, she couldn't help but sigh. Chin Han is really nice to you. He is even willing to introduce you to audition for such a role. He is quite supportive of you as a junior. If it hadn't been for his recommendation, with your current reputation, you definitely wouldn't have gotten the chance to audition. Even those A-list stars have to audition to get roles. If you fail the audition, no matter how popular you are, you will still be eliminated. So, today's audition is definitely a test of the actor's strength. There are some little fresh meat and little flowers who rely on their faces to make a living, and they don't dare to come to the audition. Xiao Mian Mian has acting skills. But Linda still felt that her chances of being selected were slim. After all, she is still a brand new newcomer. In this circle, there is no shortage of capable actors with both acting skills and fame. Well, Chin Han is very good to me, so I'm very grateful that he can give me this opportunity. Actually, I don't have much hope this time, just think of it as coming here to exercise. It's good to see many big-name seniors. It's good that you think so. You're right. Regardless of whether you can be selected or not, it's good to be able to audition. It's not easy to enter the film industry. Many TV drama celebrities have long wanted to enter the film industry. And it has never been successful. Besides, you are still a newcomer. Linda was still worried that she would be under too much pressure and would not perform well on the spot. After hearing her say this, she felt more at ease. However, although she said that this audition was indifferent, she still had hope in her heart. Perhaps, a miracle will happen. What if someone falls in love with Xiao Mian? Linda felt that except for Xiao Mian's lack of fame, he had very good conditions in other aspects. Her appearance is extremely good, and her acting skills are not bad either. She is the type who will definitely become famous if given a chance. End of this chapter.